There is one more control I would like to show you in this module. In WPF, you usually don't just put a couple of controls inside a scroll viewer. You use data binding and item templates on a control, such as the items control or a list box. While Kinect Interaction does not have a Kinect list box control, Microsoft has created a proper Kinect Items control. Let me switch over to Blend to show it. In Blend, I select the Kinect Scroll Viewer, delete it with all of its contents, so that all we have left in the Kinect region is the User Viewer control. Now I will create a sample dataset. This is one of my favorite features in Blend. Click New Sample Data, click OK, and change the second property so that it is an image instead of a boolean. Now we have a random list of words and chair pictures. I will change the number of records to 100 and the text property so that it is smaller. I am also renaming these two properties so that the names reflect their content. Text and image. If I was creating a regular WPF application now, I would be able to simply drag and drop this list onto the editor surface. But I am developing a Kinect application and the regular list box is just not good for me. So I will have to add the Kinect items control manually. I'm going to change its properties so that it is stretched horizontally and centered vertically. I will also change the width and height to auto. Now I can drag and drop the data onto this control. You can see that we immediately have the chairs and their descriptions laid out horizontally. It looks like Blend has also created a template for us, but it doesn't look too pretty. Right-click on the Kinect Items control, select Edit Additional Templates, Edit Generated Items, and Edit Current. As you can see here, Blend did not put a Kinect tile button in the template after all. It has created a stack panel with an image and a text block. I will delete this and add a Kinect tile button instead. In the data context pane, we can see the objects in our data source. Let's drag the text over the Kinect tile button. Before we release the mouse button, Blend informs us that we will bind the text to the content of the button. This is not what we want, so I press and hold the Shift key and then release the mouse button. Now we can change the property we want to bind to, which is the label property. Press OK. Next, we need to add an image control as the content of the tile button. Now we can drag the image property to the newly created image. And as you can see, Blend informs us that it will data bind the image.source property to the image property of the data context, which is exactly what we want. As a final step, we can change the size of the image control by setting both width and the height properties to auto. Now we can launch the application directly from Blend by pressing F5 or choosing Run Project from the project menu. It is much easier to scroll through 100 items this way. I can just grab the list, quickly move it, and then open my hand, so that the list scrolling goes on for a while. I can also stop the inertia scrolling at any time, like this. If I maximize the window now, you can see that we have 3 rows of chairs. If you are familiar with WPF, you know that this is because the Items panel template is actually a wrap panel. Sure enough, if we go back to Blend and edit the Items panel template, we can see a wrap panel here. Replacing it with a simple horizontal stack panel changes the layout of the list to a single row of items.